Hi guys, welcome to the Urban Polling Parkinson's Wellness course. I see that we have Eileen, Nina, Sarah. Hi Nina, I see your face. Hi Eileen. Let's see, yeah, you could do a video check, a sound check.
Yes.
So
would you like us to stay on mute, right?
Oh yeah, stay on mute, but just like if you, if I just wanted to kind of, if you want to introduce yourself or if you need to say something, you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Where are you from, Nina?
Let's see. I just came from Hawaii. I'm in Florida right now.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Hawaii. Where in Hawaii?
Honolulu.
Nice. All right. And let's see here. We have Stacy and Sarah, Shelley, Linda. So guys, grab your activator poles with the bell-shaped tips. And then we can kind of, while we wait for our for other attendees, we can adjust them. So let's see here. And then also the course manual, it was emailed to you yesterday with the link, but it's also on the chat here. Okay, let's see. We'll give it a couple more minutes and I'll go through.
My polls haven't arrived yet. So I have regular polls, but I don't have the bell-shaped bottoms. So
okay, that's okay. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. Yes.
Lisa and Kristen. Okay. Great.
Hi, this is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
I also am without polls. I have a pair from my workplace, but they're not your polls. Mine will be coming. I got the notice, but they're not here yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm glad that you have a set of polls.
My polls haven't arrived yet either. They were supposed to come yesterday.
Okay.
But they didn't make it here. So.
Okay. Okay. So do you have, Kristen, do you have like any polls or ski polls or?
I do have some ski polls. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we can just kind of practice with that for today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm just going to show you. Okay. Yeah, the poles, the activator poles, it's the button lock system here. It's got the handles. There's the right and a left. So it'll say on the top R and L. So the way to adjust it is if you're just standing up straight and you have the poles in front of you, you should have your elbows bent to 90 degrees. Like this. So like for me, I'm about 5 feet, maybe 5'1" on a good day. And my pole is at a 5 setting. So you just press that button and then there's a white line that goes down and you just kind of match that up and you click it on. And then you kind of check, you have it in front of you and you go, yep, my elbows are bent to around 90 degrees. Yeah, let me see, Eileen. Oh. Yeah. Yep, that looks good. And Shelley, good.
Can I ask you a question?
Shelley and Linda, good. Yes.
This is Sarah. How you lined it up. I was taught at the power retreat to put the tips by your heels and then see if your arm was at 90 degrees or slightly less. Is that you did it a little differently?
Right. Yeah. If it's like, so you mean like back here?
Yeah. So the tips of the things are by your heels and you should be like 90 degrees.
Right. So here I'm maybe a little less than 90,
Yeah.
right? Here
Yeah.
I'm about 90 degrees. Yeah. So
Okay.
similar. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. So let's see here. So here are some tips for getting the most out of this virtual course today. Thank you for coming on a Saturday to this virtual course. I'm glad that you are all here. And there are so many people from like all over, like Canada and California and Florida and Colorado, Indiana, Minnesota, Pennsylvania. So I'm excited to be here with all of you. I am in Toronto, Canada. So you have your poles, you've got the bell-shaped tips. If you already have your poles, you got them. You should have also received boots that we can interchange later. It kind of looks like a boot. So it should have been in your box. Please keep your video on, especially like for the practical sessions so that I can kind of see how you're using them and I can maybe give you some feedback. For the space, for the practicals, you'll need some room to walk around, like such as like a hallway or maybe like a large room. For later, when we're doing the urban polling technique, we can, if the weather is nice enough, you can go outside and practice that. Towards the end of our session, we will be doing some seated exercises. And for that, it would be good to have a sturdy chair, preferably without arms. And then having some comfortable shoes, like walking or running shoes, comfortable clothing, and also have some water next to you, maybe some snacks. And if you have any questions, join through the chat. And oops, sorry, not yet. And the manual was emailed yesterday in the email, but also there is a link in the chat button. All right. So guys, we're gonna actually just start off with some warm up with our poles just to get moving. This is Barb Gormley, who is she's a fitness trainer in Toronto, but she's also the director of education for urban polling. So if you could stand up and we can do some exercises with Barb. We'll grab your poles.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're starting our day off with a warm up. That makes sense, don't you think? Have you got your poles handy? Please grab your poles. Stand tall.
There's a right and a left. So the ledge is always outside.
Let's start with a little pattern. Just follow along. Pull your elbows in and out. We do this twice. And then you're going to lift one pole, lift the other one, then smoothly put them down. That's it. Yes, right pole, left pole, down we go. We'll do a few more of these. easy pace. However, it's good to be precise, have really nice, clean moves at all times, don't you think? And up and lower them down. Let's do it twice more. The goal of a warm up, of course, is to warm up, get the muscles warm, malleable, feeling great, up and down. Now, march it forward, 8 little steps. Come forward, pull your poles in and stand tall. A little bit of an upright row kind of action. Then we go back, walk yourself back. Put your poles on the ground, press down and stand tall this way. 4 steps forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it up tall. Back we go. Open up. Push down. Tall again. Forward we go. Maybe you have a little more room than I have and you can travel a little further. That would be good. Scoot forward. Pull up tall. Open up. Press down on the ledges of your handles. Up we go. And out. Yes, good. Elbows in and out. We do this twice. Right pole goes up. Left pole slowly down. In and out. Yes, right pole. Whoa, look at that sun. Down we go. We're going to do this twice more. Hope you're having a lovely sunny day wherever in the world you are today. Last time for this. 4 steps forward. Gather up. Stand up tall. Open up. Press down. Stand tall again. Forward. Pull yourself up. Back we go. Yes. Let's march out and in. Out and in. Pick up your knees. Pick up your knees. Great. Good. Very nice. Hold your feet together. Let's bring our poles in and out. 1 more of those. In and out. Lift your knees up. 8 of these. Whichever knee is handy. Start with that one. Good. Bring the poles in and out. Lift your knees up 4 times. Do it all again. In and out. Now you have the option of having your poles on the ground or off the ground. So you could press down if you wanted, and lift up your knees. Yes, you could press down and press down. Please do what works best for you. I'm going to do 2 more of this option. Press down, and when you press on the ledges, of course, feel your arms engage. Feel your core engage. Up, 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 up. We're going to do a little tap to the side. Have you got your shoulders back over your hips? Yeah, let's change it to a tap. Let the poles just do a little sway. As long as you're pressing down, they should stay in place, no problem. Get the knees going. Yes, take it to a lunge. Yes, over to the left and right, left and right. Let's add a little arm action. So when you go over to the left, put your right handle in. So it'll probably tap somewhere around your navel, maybe your rib cage. Keep pressing those knees open wide, everyone. Don't forget about the left arm here. Stretch it out maybe just a little extra. 2 more of these. Let's bring it center plie. 3 of them. 3 pulses. Then stand tall and squeeze your inner thighs together. Use those adductors, inner thigh muscles. Shoulders are down. Belly buttons up and in. We're going to do 4 more of these. Push down on the pole. Get the upper body involved. How many left?
Good job, guys. Looks really good, guys. All right, let's see if we could sit down. We'll get started. Hopefully you got a little bit of blood pumping there. Okay, my name is Sunhan Anderson. I got my undergrad degree in University of Minnesota, and I got my doctorate in physical therapy at also University of Minnesota. And then I practiced physical therapy in the US for about 6-7 years. And most of that time I was a traveling therapist. So I worked in California and New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Wisconsin, Minnesota. And then I moved to Toronto, and then I've been practicing physical therapy here, or sometimes also we call it physiotherapy here. And I've been mostly working with clients with Parkinson's here. I'm certified in LSVT Big, urban polling, activator trainer, and power moves, and also rock steady boxing. This is just a reminder to work within your scope of practice and experience defined by your association or your regulatory body. So there will be a quiz at the end of the course, and it is approved by the Federation of State Boards of Physical Therapy. But please check on the Urban Polling website for a list of organizations that have already been pre-approved for this course for continuing education credits. Okay, so here is our schedule for the day. We have, I'll be talking about a little bit more the introduction, the benefits of using urban polls, and then we'll talk about the activator technique. That is more for like a rehab technique, more for mid to sort of late stage Parkinson's clients. And then we will have a little break. And then we'll talk a little bit about the research that's been done on the urban polls and activator polls. And then we'll talk about urban polling technique. That's kind of more for the early stage and more kind of a fitness activity. And then we'll also talk about how to increase the intensity even more for our clients. And then we'll talk about standing exercises. We'll go through assessment, contraindications, and guidelines for physical therapy practice. Then we'll do some seated exercises together. And then at the end, we'll have a survey and a quiz. Sarah, I'm not sure if it's already been pre-approved for NSCA. You may want to email Urban Polling or check on their website just to see. Let's see. So there are 360 studies that have been done on the use of polls on various conditions. 19 specifically for Parkinson's. And then 19 independent studies on our polls, the urban poll activator polls. And the key goals for wellness and rehab for clients with Parkinson's would be increase balance or stability, improve posture, promote larger movements, improve gait and endurance. And also, you guys, all of this is actually in your manual too, just so you know, like, but feel free to take notes if you'd like, that's fine. And to increase gait speed, improve coordination, increase core strength, increase confidence, and also to promote increasing outdoor activity and socializing in the community, as well as decreasing stress, anxiety, and depression. So this is Mandy Shintani. She is the developer of the activator polls. Her background is she's an occupational therapist and a gerontologist. In Canada, these polls have been used for the past 16 years. And the polls are also being used, have been used in Europe and Australia and Israel. The story is that Mandy was studying to get her gerontology degree. And she saw that the Swedes she was kind of wondering why the Swedish people were so healthy. And she had a neighbor, a Swedish neighbor. So she asked her neighbor kind of, what's the secret in, having the Swedes be so healthy? And the neighbor said, well, we walk everywhere. Whereas in North America, we drive to a lot of places. And she said that also, she said that they use Nordic poles, and that's kind of in their culture to use Nordic poles to go for walks. And so Mandy thought, oh, that's interesting. She started kind of looking to see if there was any research to back that up. And she saw that she was very surprised to see that there was so much evidence that was on using urban poles or Nordic walking. And so she thought, well, how could I try to make this safer and more comfortable? And how can we try to, so she kind of came up with the activator poles, which is designed to be safer and more comfortable. She's got the patented ledge on the core grip. So that we'll talk about that a lot, but that's like this top part. It's ergonomically designed, so it's more comfortable. And also this ledge, that is the part that is going to be important for improving posture, increasing core stability, for balance, to improve gait speed. So there are actually 19 studies that are done on these activator poles. Okay. Now, here's a testimonial from Larry Gifford. He has Parkinson's, and he hosts a podcast, a wonderful podcast called When Life Gives You Parkinson's. He also hosts podcasts for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's. Larry, he within a short period of time, he actually had 4 falls while he was walking. And so he thought, you know what, I want to try using the poles just to see, if that helps me. And this is what he had to say about using the activator poles.
The activator poles should be called confidence poles.
I love that.
Because it really is for at least for me, it's what gives me the confidence to go into a crowd, to go through an airport, to go on a hike, to take a longer walk. Like it gives me enough certainty to say yes. So thank you for making them.
Oh, well, thank you.
Here's another testimonial from Tammy, who is the Healthy Living Director at the YMCA in Washington. This is what she had to say about urban polling.
Hi, my name is Tammy Bennett. I am the Healthy Living Director at the Whatcom Family YMCA in Bellingham, Washington. And I love urban polling. So what we're seeing from our participants is amazing. And even as we first brought our participants together and we said, why are you here? They're like, I had a bad fall and I'm afraid when I walk, or I know that my balance isn't what it should be, or I'm really struggling with my posture. So we couldn't have wrote, down reasons better than what they were saying, why they were there. And then to see them learn the technique and begin to use it and just light up, including one of our participants who hasn't sweat in years because her knees are so bad she can't exercise in a vigorous enough manner to elevate her heart rate and sweat. And she can sweat now, so it's so fun to watch. I would say if you care about how seniors or people with Parkinson's are able to move and feel, this program, this urban polling program and the activated poles make all the difference in the world. And we're really happy that we were able to bring this program to the Whatcom Family YMCA.
Okay. So we will talk a lot about handshakes. So we're going to do a handshake here. I'm going to show you. So the handshakes, it will help you with the basic arm movements. And there are two techniques. There is the activator technique. Remember, that's like that rehab technique. And then there is the urban polling technique. That's kind of more for fitness. So I'm going to show you here. Okay. So the activator technique, you actually keep your elbows bent, your fingers are open, and you're shaking your hand, but you're keeping your elbow bent. So you're shaking, you're maybe you're close to this person. So you're not reaching so far, but you're just going forward and backwards. You can see that my shoulder is moving. My elbow is still bent. It's moving a little bit, but mostly it's coming from the shoulder, right? So this is the activator technique. So you're going, walking, and I'll show you with the poles later, but this is the handshake activator poles. Then for the urban polling, you just have your elbows are straight, and it's not like really tight on you. It's loose, right? You have your hands open, and your handshake is bigger, right? You're keeping your elbow straight, and it's a big movement from the shoulder. And you're walking. This is the urban polling technique, the fitness technique. And then the activator technique is you're keeping the elbows bent, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna have you stand up and practice with me. Let's see, and we're gonna get some music on here too. So let's see. So this is the activator technique, guys. The elbow is bent and we're moving it like a choo-choo train. Yeah, keep your elbows bent and push forward, back, forward, back, forward. That's it. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Looks good. Yeah, make sure it's coming from the shoulders. Very good. Yep. Good. Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right. Good, Nimoli. Lisa, good. Okay, now what about the urban pulling? That's straight, elbow straight, and push forward and back. Big movement. Good. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Sarah, that's awesome. Good. Nice. Jill, that's great. Yeah. Wow, everybody looks great. Okay, activator pose. Bend your elbows. Bend. But still moving from the shoulders. Good. And urban pulling technique. Straighten your elbows. Big movements. Good. All right. Excellent, everybody. Good. Okay. Let's come back. So that's our handshake. All right. So what is Nordic walking? So sometimes we'll say Nordic walking or urban polling or pole walking, you know, those terms. So it is cross-country skiing put together with regular walking would be Nordic walking, right? So cross-country skiing, the urban polling technique would be cross-country skiing without the skis, right? It's a total body workout that can be done anywhere and at any time. And the sport is very popular in Europe, and it also became very popular as an off-season training, the Nordic walking, off-season training for people, cross-country skiers. And so these are the partnerships with urban polling. They've partnered with Diabetes Canada, Cardiac Rehab because of that aerobic component to using the urban poles, World Obesity, Arthritis Society, due to the offloading of the joints. We'll talk more about that too. Like using that ledge, it's going to offload some of your joints in the hips and knees. For more information about partnerships, you can also go on to Urban Polling website and look under About Us. Here's a video of brisk walking using the urban poles. So these ladies are using the urban polling technique, and you can see like the straight handshake. We're doing the urban polling, the fitness technique. You can see the potential here for big arm swings and increased step length. You can see it from the side here. All right. Okay, so when we're walking, just regular walking without poles, you're primarily using your lower extremity muscles, right? Your glutes and quads, hamstrings, gastroc. When you're walking using poles, you're using actually about 75 to 90% of your muscles, including your upper extremity and abs and lower extremity. So it's really a full body workout when you're walking with the poles. This study in 2002, it showed that on average, people using the poles when they were walking versus walking without the poles, they were increasing their energy expenditure by 20%, and some burned up to even 46% more calories when using the poles while they were walking. Oh, keep it there, 20 to 46%. Also, this the increase in core strength from that ledge, right? So actually here, I want you to take your right pole and I want you to stand up. I want you to take the right pole. Let me just stop and start this. Okay, now the ledge is always on the outside, right? So you have that ledge. The grip is pretty light, and you've got it there on your right side. And you push down on that ledge, right? You're pushing down with the loose grip, right? Now relax for a second, and then left hand, put your hand on your stomach. And then push down on that ledge and see if you can feel that abdominal contraction, right? Let it go, let the pole go, and then push down, and you should feel your abdominal muscles engaging, okay? You also try it on your pec, right? Push down, you can feel that engagement, right? And you could try your lats, feel your lats, go push down. Right? And then now feel your back muscles, your erector spinae. Go push down. Say, oh, okay. Those are activating. Right? So you could show your clients that technique just to kind of let them know that, yeah, it's when you're pushing down on the ledge, it's going to it's going to activate your abdominal muscles. Okay, we'll come back and sit down. Okay. So if you're walking about 15 minutes or maybe about 1 kilometer using the urban poles, you're taking about 1,800 steps. So that's 1,800 ab contractions, which is great. And then you've got 900 lat contractions, and you've got 900 shoulder movements, right? So you can see that that would be really good for a lot of our clients that don't have good shoulder movements. Here's the options to using canes and to delay or reduce the use of walker, right? So you see this gentleman here in the middle, he's using the walker. He's got his kyphotic posture, right? Probably his abs and his core is not really engaged there. He's looking down, right? There's no arm swing coming from there, right? Then there's Brad here. He's using a cane. And he's kind of leaning on that side, right? To one side. His wrist is in a little bit, when people are using the cane, it's extended a little bit. So it's putting stress on the wrist joint. And then there's Dr. Jack Taunton here over on the left side here. He's using the poles, and he has a more upright posture, kind of more normal walking pattern. And he's keeping his wrist in a more neutral position. And so here's what Dr. Taunton had to say about using the urban poles. He was a chief medical officer for 2010 Olympics, and he's had 7 spinal surgeries.
My name is Dr. Jack Taunton. I'm a former international marathoner, ran 120,000 miles and completed 63 marathons. And then, unfortunately, because of congenital spinal stenosis, I had 7 major spine surgeries. And the last surgery, they had to fuse me from T9 with 2 3-foot rods to S2 and 24 3-inch screws. I'm in a body brace. I've lost control of my right leg. But with poles, I can now walk 3, and on the weekends, 4 hours a day. If I was to do this with a walker being bent over, I'm in a body brace to keep me upright. That doesn't make sense. And a cane is the same thing. This, I'm upright, and that I can power.
Here's a lady, just a comparison of using a walker versus using poles. You can see that she's more upright. She's got her arms moving, better posture. She's walking a little bit faster there. Now also, it's also an easier access to the community when you're using the poles than a walker, because if you have to bring the walker into the car, right, it's more difficult than having to bring the poles into your car. Or if you're getting around a narrow space, or a place where the walker, it's more challenging to get the walker through, that's kind of a nice option to use the poles. Okay, so guys, this is part of a certification course. And so if you could write down 2 goals that you want to learn today and can implement it at work this week, that would be great. And I'll give you a minute to do that. And then if you would just share your goals, at least one of the goals with us in the chat, I would appreciate that. All right, Susan, thank you. New ideas for trunk activation. Great. I love that. People love when you talk about the core activation. Stacy, okay, update warm-ups and cool down ideas with my geriatric patients. Yep, good. So we'll talk about some standing and seated exercises. Sarah, new ideas for a group Parkinson's class with using poles. Perfect. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Nimoli, making patients more aware of their posture using poles. Perfect. Using seated exercises along with poles. Good, Linda. And Susan, exercises for lower functioning Parkinson's clients. Yep, we'll talk about those too. Work with the fitness staff in my buildings and working to support fitness class carryover. Great. Using polls to create variety in classes for Parkinson's. Yeah, I feel like the polls are a good tool to introduce to our clients with Parkinson's. Introducing patient to polling and other neurological conditions. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, guys. All right. So here now, we're going to be talking about the activator technique. And that is the technique, the rehab technique. And oh my gosh, we are early. We're early. It's about 1:36 and we're at 2 o'clock here. Okay, so the activator poles, the technique, it's there, as I mentioned before, there are 19 independent studies that have been done on activator poles. And the activator technique is suitable for mid to later stages of Parkinson's clients. Primary concern may be balance or with progressive disease. It's suitable for less active older adults. It is good for somebody who has osteoarthritis to offload the hip and knee joints. It's also a good technique to use when you're going on various terrains, like in the snow, like on the beach, hiking up and down. And also when you're traveling, it may be a good, it's a good technique to use during traveling. And you may also use both techniques. Sometimes you might use the activator technique and sometimes they may use the urban polling technique. So this is the core grip. It's designed for balance and posture. It's a patented and evidence-based core grip. There's a right and a left. On the top, you can see the R and the left. And that ledge, as I keep mentioning, it's good for improving posture, for balance, for getting the core more activated, offloading the joints, for arm swings, and to improve gait speed. Also, it supports the wrist in a more neutral position to minimize a risk of soft tissue injury. So this is the core grip. This is the top, or also called the palm, that ergonomic grip, the ledge, right there, the button lock system, right? And then it's got the 3 anti-vibration feature, which is, one is the core grip. The other one is the ferrule right here. And you actually don't want to be touching that because that is the anti-vibration system. Sometimes people think that that's how they need to adjust their poles, but you can actually damage your pole if you're twisting this or turning. And then the third anti-vibration system is the bell-shaped tip, or the tip. It could be the boot shape too, the tip. Yes, Stacy, there are studies, I believe there are studies on osteoporosis, yes. I will get back to you on that. Also, you know, to look at more of the research, you can go on to the Urban Polling website, and under research, it will list all the research that has been done. Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Knobloch, he is from Germany. He studied Nordic walking to see, well, is Nordic walking actually safe for our clients? So he found that, okay, Nordic walking is actually safe. It's a safe overall activity. But the highest rate of injury that he saw was a skier's thumb, where if people fall and they're attached to the wrist strap, and their thumb sort of hyperextends or abducts, there's the injury that comes with that. So that is the reason that Mandy did not put wrist straps on these poles, right? Because it's actually safer without them. And if you are falling, you could let it go, right? You're not attached to it. So this is what Dr. Knobloch had to say about our poles. He said the urban poles appear light with a good grip. The hand design of the grip offers even more support and thus provides safety. Okay, so we've got the in the chat, Stacy, there's the research, the urbanpolling.com. Okay, the link to the research.
That link actually popped up on the screen, so that was cool.
Oh, okay, great. So the activator poles, it's got the core grip we talked about, the bell-shaped tip, right? So there's more surface area on the bell-shaped tip than a lot of the poles that come with just like that little tip at the end. So it's going to give our clients more balance, right? More stability with that bell-shaped tip. The push button lock system, these are, this one pole could actually take 200 pounds of weight per pole. And that's a quiz question right there. 200 pounds, but actually the maximum user weight that we recommend for using both poles is 250 pounds. It's got that anti-vibration system, the design that we talked about. Also, the activator poles, it's good for, you can adjust this for somebody who's 4 feet tall to 6 feet tall. And it can accommodate boot tips and snow baskets, like if you want to use it on in deep snow or at the beach. So this tip, you just take it off like this, and you could put on the boot shaped tip on this one, on this carbide tip. Okay, so this is research that was done on activator technique. And we looked at, okay, is the activator technique actually taking offloading the joints, right? And they saw that if you put a downward pressure on that ledge, yes, there was greater offloading in the joints, in the hips and knees. So here's a lady that is walking without any assistive device and then using the poles. You can see that she's kind of going side to side without the poles. She looks more stable with the poles, better foot clearance, arms are moving. She's using the activator technique. Looks good. Okay. So now I'll model how to do the activator technique. When we'll talk about, there are 5 steps. The first is that you make sure that it's the right and the left, right? It says it on the top, but also remember that the ledge always goes on the outside. If you use it the other way, it also kind of feels a little bit funny. You will feel good when you're using it the right way, right? Remember, I was telling you the elbows are bent to 90 degrees, and then you should use it the right arm with the opposite leg, right? Just like walking. And then you want to press on that ledge with the loose grip. Okay. It sometimes goes out of focus. Stop and start. Okay, so I've got my right and my left, my ledge is on the outside, first step. Second step, okay, I've got my elbows bent to 90 degrees. And then the third step is I'm going to, and think about that handshake, right? The handshake where we have the elbows are bent, right? Flex, but you're getting that motion from the shoulders, right? And the right pull, left leg. One, two. And every step, I'm pressing down on the ledge. Down, down, down. The pulls are forward. The pull kind of comes to where the opposite foot, like where the arch is, right? Forward, forward, forward. Right? Every time you press down, your posture gets better and you're activating your core. Okay. And then once you get comfortable with that, right? Then you think about, okay, I want to lift the pull, plant it, and push. Lift, plant, push, push. So let's see if we could stand up and try that. Yeah, you've got, make sure you have the right and the left, the ledge is on the outside. You have that loose grip. Elbows bent to 90 degrees. You're moving that opposite arm and leg. And you're pushing down, but loose grip. Push down and do kind of a circle around your room or the hallway. Like continuously moving. Yeah. And this is how you want to get your clients started so that they're not doing a sharp turn. You're just continuously moving. Yeah. Nice, Nina. There you go, Eileen. Go push forward. That's it. Have it come from the shoulder. There you go, Jill. You're moving your shoulders. Yeah. Lisa, good. Nice, Stacy. Very good. Good. Yep. Linda, go shoulder. Yeah, that handshake. Forward. Good. Yep, that's it. Very good. All right. So for every step, there is a simultaneous pull plant, right? At the same time, right? Same time, plant it. And remember, don't lock the arms beside your body, right? Because you want it to move smoothly. There should be lots of movement coming from that shoulder, right? And think about keeping the pulse completely vertical, right? So it's not diagonal. Sometimes some people have said, like, think about this bell-shaped tip as a stamp at the end. There's a stamp here, and you want to try to get a nice stamp on the bottom, on the floor. So there's the right and a left core grip, number one. Number two, elbows at 90 degrees. Number three, opposite arm and leg. Press on that ledge, keep that loose grip, and then lift and plant the pole. Okay, so guys, if you have a hallway, can you just take a few minutes here to practice this technique? Just do some circles around, right? Do maybe a wider turn, try to do a narrower turn. And then we'll meet back here. It is 1:51 Eastern Standard Time. Maybe we'll meet back here at 1:54. Or sorry, 1:55 in 4 minutes. 1:55.
Someone was asking about the snow baskets.
Yes.
I wanted to show them what this was. So.
Oh, thank you. Let's see here. Let me see. I want to, oh, Nina. Okay, okay. Let me spotlight you. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, thank you. So
these came with the Moda poles. So.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, with that, right? Like on the poles, there's the little twist like towards the end there, and then you kind of click on that snow basket, right? And you twist it. You see on the bottom like the 3 turn sort of section.
Yeah, so you can use it for either one, right? Either
Yep.
The For Life or the Activator.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
I think that also like on in the chat, there is this is the snow and sand baskets. Like there's a link to it, so people can also see that.
Okay.
I think there are also videos on the Urban Polling website that show how to use it.
Right.
Yeah, but I heard, I've never tried it on the beach, but I heard that it actually grips the sand pretty well. Yeah. Okay, I'll take you off spotlight.
Everybody's doing so well with the activator practice.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I was surprised at how people were doing so well. The technique was really good. I was thinking maybe I was just doing a good job teaching people.
You are. I like the handshake method. It's a good way of talking about it. And also with the activator, just like a choo-choo train, like a locomotive, people know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
When you say that. So
yeah, good. All right. Okay. Maybe I'll give another minute. Okay. this is, let's see if everybody's back. I think most people are back. Oh. Okay, great. The activator technique, other tips on it. If your client is having a really hard time with that opposite arm and leg, just kind of don't focus too much on it, because it will kind of get them frustrated, and then they'll say, oh, I don't want to use it anymore, right? Just get them just moving, get them to try to push on that ledge, right? Get them to relax their grip and just continue moving, right? And with some practice, like they will get it. You know, another technique is to sort of start. You might, if they kind of go, you know, it's the same foot, same leg, it will feel a little bit weird, right? So if they go opposite foot, they'll go, oh yeah, now that feels better, right? So, oh, okay, when they get it right, kind of just say, that's it, right? You did it right there, you know, so you're kind of driving that positive feedback to get them to go opposite arm and leg. Or sometimes it helps if you just stop and then you restart. Or sometimes like we'll start with right arm forward, left leg forward. Okay, now switch, you know, something like that. Or even doing like later when we're doing some standing exercises, we'll talk about just getting them to step forward with the right leg and left pole, and like kind of pre-gait exercises using the poles. You can also kind of use marching beat, clapping to kind of get them to get that rhythm going. It's also kind of very helpful to have a video like before and after. So you videotape them just walking their normal walking without poles. And then after practicing with the poles, and then you videotape again and say, okay, what do you see? Do you see a difference, right? And maybe if their posture is better, or if they go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was taking such a long step, right? Because a lot of times their perception of what they're doing is not really, you know, normal. And so, you know, if they see that, oh, wow, I am walking better with it, right? They will want to use it more. Your client also may use both techniques even within the same session. So sometimes like I will show, and actually with like early or in mid stage, like I will show the activator technique, and then I'll show sort of that fitness urban polling. And I'll say, well, what do you think? Which one feels better, right? They might use the activator technique more when they're trying to get through like, you know, small spaces, or when they're traveling. And then they might use the urban polling technique if they want to get a good cardio exercise outside. And so it is kind of difficult to do a turn, and then like it's usually hard for a lot of our clients to turn anyway. But when you're turning, you want to kind of try to practice circles first, circles and then wide turns, right? So that they understand, oh, I just have to keep going, right? So here, even circles, like with your pole here, go here. So this is kind of just stationary here. You're kind of pivoting on it, but you're moving in circle, right? You can practice that. Or wide turn so that they understand they keep going. Because sometimes when you stop and then have to restart, then they have to go, wait, which leg again? Right? That coordination could be hard for some of our clients. Kristen said, sometimes I get the reciprocal arm swing with the client holding one end of the pole or the cane and me behind holding opposite end and facilitating that arm swing while we walk, and then have them try with the pole touching the ground, and I get good carryover this way. That's excellent, Kristen. Yep, we do that, and people kind of love that. Oh, whoa, okay, that's my normal arm swing. That's what it's supposed to feel like. So thank you for sharing that. So for the activator poles, they're good for people that are up to 6 feet, but the activator 2 is for taller clients. So that's good for people up to 6 feet 4 inches. And it's the weight bearing capacity on these poles is 250 pounds per pole. It's a 3-sectional, like 1, 2, and 3 sectional piece. So it's actually collapses to a shorter pole for traveling. It collapses to 24 inches versus the activator poles, it collapses to 29 inches. The maximum user weight for this is 320 pounds. And this one has the button lock system, but it also has the flip lock here. Right. And then, sometimes people say, well, can I bring this through the airport or, on the airplane? So what we notice is that if people are using their poles, like for walking, they're using it as a device, or then we haven't had anybody had trouble bringing it through the airport. But if you're just carrying it, like you just bought and you're just carrying something, then they will most likely ask you to put it away, like in your suitcase or in your bag. This pole, the 3-sectional pole. So sometimes people that are shorter will get this because they travel a lot and they want to bring this pole along. And this can fit into like a smaller suitcase. Oh, okay. Sarah says that I have said I'm using it for Parkinson's in airport and they don't ask any questions. Great. Yeah. And then once in a while you'll get that one, right? That'll say, do you really need that? Yep. So now, guys, we're doing really well on our timing here. So let's see if we could take like a 5-minute bathroom break here. Grab something to drink, maybe a snack if you need it. It is 2:03 right now. How about we meet back at 2:10? Does that sound okay? Yeah, and if you have any questions, I'll just stay on for, thank you for the thumbs up, Sarah. So like we will, if you have any questions, I'll just stay on for a couple minutes. See you guys at 2:10.
Hey, Shelley, we have the kids tonight, Christmas, stomach is not good. He just called for me.
I guess we should, I don't know if I can mute.
Feedback. Really disappointed, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, see you later.
Hi. Oh, cool. All right. Great. I think most of us are back. So next, we will talk about some research that's been done on urban polling and activator polls. Also, again, if you want to go onto the urban polling website, the research that's been done is listed on there. So that's a helpful place to go and look. So as I mentioned before, there are 360 studies that have been done on Nordic walking, 19 specific to Parkinson's, and 19 current studies on activator polls. Okay, so this is a randomized control study. There were 3 groups. One was the balance and flexibility group. One was pole walking, and another group was just regular walking. And what they found was that all participants actually, there was an improvement in reducing their pain, improving their balance, and improving the quality of life. But the Nordic walking group, they had the significant improvement, a superior improvement in postural stability, stride length, gait pattern, and gait variability. And the research shows that increased gait variability is associated with higher risk of falling. This is Bill Truen. He has Parkinson's, kind of early to mid stage, and he's completed 22 half marathons using our poles. So he's a great example of how people perceive the poles to be about ability and exercise. So Bill said that this is his testimonial. He said, I noticed I had better coordination and less freezing for hours after I pole each day. Here's a meta-analysis looking at a lot of the Parkinson's studies in physiotherapy or physical therapy. It showed that Nordic walking, there was an improvement in balance and gait retraining with physical therapy. Now, this one is not specifically on Parkinson's, but a lot of our Parkinson's clients do have depression or low mood, fatigue, anxiety, right? So there are a few studies that showed improved mood, decreased fatigue and depression with Nordic walking compared to walking. And it does also promote you to go outside, right? When you're using the poles, most likely to go for a walk, you're going outside. So I think that that's also helpful to our clients. Here's a fall prevention study on activator poles. So all participants, they were tested before and after with a wide variety of tests which measured falls risk. And this study was a 9-week time, one time a week, 30 minutes each time with activator pole walking. And then also 30 exercises based on the Otago Falls Prevention Program. And that program is, it focuses a lot on, it's a fall prevention program, focuses a lot on knee extension, ankle dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, and hip ab and adduction. And the results were that there was a significant change in the timed up and go tests, stride length increased, and also single leg standing increase, which are all indicators for falls risk. So I'll show you a gait assessment lab that was done on a lady. This lady doesn't have Parkinson's, but she's kind of a bionic lady here. She's 88. She's had 2 shoulder replacements, 2 hip replacements, 2 knee replacements, and C1, C2 neck fusion. She's got an old ankle soft tissue injury, and she's using the activator poles here, using this Xeno walkway assessment tool, which is a mat that has sensors that measure the client's walking pattern and their abilities. So here she's walking without the poles. She's kind of got that penguin waddle gait pattern, wide stance, short stride. Exaggerated arm swing there. And using the poles, increase stride length. She's got a narrower base of support, better foot clearance, This one's just side by side. You can see the stride length is significantly bigger, narrower base of support, like when you look at the bottom. The analysis. So it showed that this her speed, when she was using the poles, her speed increased by 37%. Her step length increased by 62% when she used the poles versus not. Her stride width decreased. Her gait variability, remember that you want it to decrease because that's decreased falls risk. It decreased from 136 to 118, and her cadence decreased by 15%. Okay, that is our section 1. Any questions? Let me get the next section here. All right, you guys doing okay? Okay, all right. I don't know where our emojis went, reactions. Okay, so here, now we're gonna be talking about, so it's about 2:20, so we are still way ahead of schedule. We're gonna be talking about the urban polling technique. Now, this is that fitness activity, right? For early stages of Parkinson's, maybe even early to mid stage. And then, so we'll go on to talking about the urban polling technique. Okay, it's suitable for the early stages of Parkinson's, but also other neurological conditions, right? Younger clients, more active clients. And you can also practice the activator technique first, and then kind of progress to the urban polling technique. But another thing is that it's good for us, like the rehab professional, right? For us to exercise. Sometimes we take out the poles to go for walks during lunch, like with coworkers, just to get some walking in, get our cardio up. For also, it could be good for caregivers. You know, a lot of the Parkinson's, the caregivers, the spouses, right? For them to do together, the caregivers to do together with other caregivers too. It's a much higher intensity. But it could also be used for lower level clients, this technique. You guys have probably already heard of this research done in 2018. The study showed that getting the patients for Parkinson's, getting the patient's heart rate up to 80 to 85% of their maximum heart rate showed a significant increase in their motor abilities, right? And so, okay, so we think, well, okay, let's use the poles and we'll get our heart rate up, like the urban polling technique will get our heart rate up. And then we'll also like later talk about how to even increase it further. Like if we felt like that's not really 80%, right? Here is a gentleman, Rob from Yukon, Canada. This is his testimonial. So he said, so I bought a set of urban polling poles. He has Parkinson's. And I walked and walked and walked. My brain has developed a new neurological pathway for walking and other noticeable improvements in stride, speed, mood, an absolutely game-changing experience. And I just wanted to say thank you. Shelley has one question. Okay. Shelley, do you have a question? Oh, can you unmute yourself, Shelley?
Okay, so as we get older with Parkinson's patients, they often have arthritis also. So can the hand grip be changed? And what happens if you have a very big person versus a very small person? So what about the hand grip? Is
Oh,
there-
the hand, yeah, the hand grip actually, with the background of Mandy being an occupational therapist, she made this hand grip. This is a lot more comfortable to use than regular poles that are the thinner poles, that you might see. So like a lot of times people will say, oh, this actually feels good, So if they have severe arthritis in their hand, it may not feel comfortable, right? Just to even like with the weight bearing or the grip and so for those people, they may not be a good candidate in using the poles, but for people that have, like my clients that have minimal to moderate arthritis in their hands, they can use it. And sometimes like I might also modify it. So they're using just a shorter session using the poles. And then we might do some finger exercises or use without the poles, do some without the poles and then do some with poles. But I actually have never heard anybody like I'm pretty petite and it feels comfortable to me. And then I've had like bigger clients use it. And I think that for most people say, wow, this actually feels nice, yeah.
Okay.
Will insurance pay for the cost of the poles with physician order? Yeah, that's a good question, Lisa. I think that it depends on people have had it be reimbursed for insurance and on the Urban Polling website, and hopefully we'll get a link on here. And if it doesn't come on the chat, then I will look for that later. But we have a sheet that kind of you can use to submit it to the insurance company as like an assistive device or something that will help with your client's walking abilities. And so the insurance companies have paid for reimbursed for poles. I guess it also maybe depends on which insurance too, right? Okay, so let's see, adjusting to using the urban polling. So there are urban polling, urban polls that you can get. These are the activator polls, which is the rehab polls that we have right now. And some of you may have the urban polls too. I will show you that too, but the activator polls, you can convert this to using the urban polling technique. So you just basically pull off the bell-shaped tip and put the boot-shaped tip that you got. And then, so I'll stop sharing. So the bell-shaped tip, I just take it off. There's the carbide, the good quality carbide tip. And we can use a boot here, right? And we just put it right on there like that. And then you want that boot shape, the boot to face backwards, right? So if you're standing and the ledge is there, you want that boot to be pointing backwards, right? And then you kind of give it a little push right there. And then to use the urban polling technique, you actually want to increase your button by 2. So you want to lengthen it by 2. You want to make it a little longer. So like mine's at 5. So I'll put it to 7. Right. Sometimes if clients are having a harder time with that, you could maybe try 1 notch higher. And so this is how to convert get into urban polling. Now, this is the Urban Polling 300 series. This is for people that want to get poles for fitness. It's got the same core grip, same 3 anti-vibration system, right? It comes with the boot shape already. And this one is a twist lock, not a button lock. Right. So sometimes like clients may come into the clinic with these, right? So just so you know that this one, there's an unlock to this side, to the right, and then lock this direction, or arrows, right? So you just unlock, and then you could see that the height is already on there. Right. So I'll put it to 5 feet and then I'll lock it. Right. And then when I hold the pole, the boot should be facing backwards. Oh, okay. Okay. So in the chat, Lisa, there's the third-party funding, the link to the third-party funding sheet. Good question. Okay. So the urban poles, these are the one that I just showed you, the Urban Pole 300. It's got that 3 anti-vibration feature, the ferrule, that black part in the middle, the core grip, and the boot tips. And it adjusts to 4 feet 2 inches up to 6 feet 2 inches. It's that twist lock system. And each pole could take 90 pounds of weight bearing per pole. Whereas the activator poles, the button lock, was 200 per pole, right? This one's 90. It's got the durable, the rubber boot tips for traction and propulsion. And it's also got the carbide tip that I showed you, that metal tip. And that we'll talk about later, but that's used for like snow or sand, or kind of terrains like that, up hills, trekking. It's high quality design and material. So that's one thing. Sometimes people will come in with their own poles, but it might be like a $30 set of poles that they got from Walmart or something like that, right? That's not great quality. There is a 1-year warranty on the poles, and then the maximum user weight is still the same as 250 pounds for these poles. So the urban polling technique, there are the 4 steps. The first step is, we'll go through the 3 steps first. So the first step is that you actually just drop your arms down to the side, and then you kind of start dragging your poles and then you just start walking. You say, okay, I want you to just drop your poles and I want you to start walking. The poles are in a more diagonal, right? Not vertical, right? But diagonal. And you're doing that urban polling handshake, right? And you just kind of bring that pole along, right? Just to get used to that motion. So let's see. Okay, so I've got the right and the left, the ledges on the outside, my pole tips, my boots are facing backwards, so that when you just drop it down like this, then your boots are actually kind of flat on the ground, because it's diagonal like this, but then when you have the pole diagonal, it's going to be flat. Right? So you're going to get good traction right there. So you drop your arms down, your poles are diagonal, and you start walking and you think about that handshake that we were doing at the beginning, right? You drop your arms, your poles are just dragging diagonal and handshake. Handshake, right? Handshake. Boom. Handshake, the elbows are straight, right? Remember the elbows are straight. You're going around in a circle. So let's see. Here, let's grab your poles. If you can, could you put the boot-shaped tips on the bottom if you have them? It should have come with your poles. That's it, Stacy. Keep your elbows straight. Yep. Nice. Yeah, good job, Nina. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that handshake, it goes forward and then it kind of comes to your hip, maybe even past your hip when you're walking outside. Yep. Okay, let's see. Nice, Linda. Looks good. Jill, let me see. Ah, okay. Yeah, you can use that for now. Did it not come with the boot shape? Jill, can you put your mic on for a second?
Yes.
It did not come with the boot shape tips?
No.
Do you still have the box it came in?
Not with me.
Okay, because like we included the boot shaped tips, but sometimes like people take the poles out and then the boot shaped tips are still like on the bottom of the box.
Okay, okay.
So if you still have it, maybe just check to see if it's there. Yeah.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, looks good, Linda. Okay, some chats here. With the poles in hand, what is the range of motion for the arm swing? I didn't get mine today. Okay, the range of motion, it's a pretty big range of motion. Now, Linda, inside, you may not get as much of a motion as when you're outside, but even here, you could see that I'm bringing it forward. Like when I bring my hand, oh, maybe I have to unshare. Yeah. When I bring my pole forward, right, it's to kind of where my opposite foot is. So that's pretty far out there, right? And then I'm bringing it back, right? When I'm outside, I will actually push it behind, like beyond my hip, right? And then, Eileen, you said that you didn't get yours either, huh? Did everybody else get the boot shape tips?
I did not get mine either.
They're actually a new feature.
I got mine.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see, Kristen, I didn't get mine too. Okay, Kristen said, with the ski poles I have as I wait for my poles to arrive, I can't practice as part of my house. Okay. I have them. Okay, great. Okay, we will go outside if you're able to. Are most people able to go outside and practice? Nobody's like most people. Okay, good. Even Linda. Linda, are you from Minnesota? Are you in Minnesota or are you somewhere else? Are you?
I'm in Arizona right now, so it's really easy to go outside.
Okay, great. Yeah. Even in Toronto, it's a nice day. We can go outside. Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, there's more. I have them. It's 40 degrees, but okay, Sarah, that's funny. It's cold. Okay, Eileen said it's 34 degrees. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to, okay. Now, the next step is, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, sorry. And then go again. So the next step is doing it outside. And the important thing is that you're pressing on that edge, that ledge, you're pressing off, right, from it. And that is going to help you to propel yourself.
Oh, can you share for a minute, Sunhan? We just can't see you.
Yes.
Or stop sharing?
Yeah, I'll share in just a second. So remember that the 4 steps, the drag, keep your arm straight. And then you've got that pull, the pull position is diagonal. And then you're thinking about that handshake. And then the last part that we will do is pressing down onto that ledge with that loose grip, right? So let me just share that. Okay, so you've got your arms down, it's diagonal, right? You're thinking about that handshake. Now you're pushing back. See, my hand is pretty much actually even open. I'm not gripping it, and I'm pushing down on it, right? And it's going to get your clients or you to go forward, which is going to drive that big step. Right? So from here, drag, push, 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 push it down and back, down and back, push, push, push. Okay, handshake, push on the ledge. Let's see if we can practice. I think that this is you can practice this better when you're outside. So let's see if we could take the urban poles, the activator poles with the boot shaped tips, and let's see if you could go outside, bundle up if it's cold, and for 10 minutes, but when you get back, you're gonna go, oh, I'm so hot, right? That's gonna be maybe, let's give it 10 minutes. So it's 2:40 right now. How about I give you, we can meet back at 2:50 in 10 minutes. And you can practice the urban polling. I will stay on for a couple of minutes if you have questions or if you want me to look at your technique too. Okay. Right, okay. If you don't have the boot shaped tips, you can use the activator poles with the bell tips for now and still work on this technique.
How's it going, Sunhan?
It's going well.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, Rodrigo said you're doing great.
That's good. Let's put it right there. Okay. Yeah, everybody's getting the technique. It's looking good.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'll be on here. Sunhan, do you want me to stay on for an hour just to make sure everything's okay, or?
Sure, if you want, yeah.
Sorry, Sue.
Hi, it's Susan Smith. I just had to mention something. So we're just not going outside because it's pouring rain here in Ottawa, but my two colleagues who also paid for this course, we're all together under my name here. So all three of us have paid for it. All three of us are doing it.
Yeah.
And just so you know, there's three of us here under Susan.
Oh. Susan, is your video on?
It is not. We weren't sure if that would be awkward with the three of us.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, it's up to you guys, but if you want us to see your technique, or you can also help each other out, but I'm happy to see the three of you guys on there too.
Okay, thanks. The other thing is at the end with the quiz, I wasn't sure how that would work with the three of us.
Oh, you can each go on just copy and paste it to your device, and then you have to put in your name, and then it loads up the quiz, and so you just do it, and it also I'll get emailed to you too.
Well, that's fine then. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
I just didn't know if it was something you did right on this, like live or something. Yep.
No.
Okay, thanks.
Sarah, how did it go?
Good. The one little subtle thing that I think was really good that you said was pushing on the ledge, because I used to keep my hands loose, except when I dig in.
Yeah.
When I would dig in, I'd squeeze my hands.
Yeah.
But I realized you don't have to, like, just pushing the ledge, you can keep your hands loose the whole time. So I like that little cue, that, subtle thing makes a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody actually told me that with like the poles, like the Nordic walking poles, initially why they had the wrist strap was so that when they were really just going at it, they were kind of like using that wrist strap to kind of bring that pole back forward. So it's in the right position to push back again,
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
But if somebody has, just like you said, the skinny handles and they don't have one that has a contoured grip, they're not going to have that ledge to use it.
Yep, exactly.
I have a question. If you have patients that have balance problems, real balance and vertigo, is it best to use the Nordic poles because of the wrist strap? Because they're going to need to use these poles all the time, so that when they want to stop and reach for something, they're going to have to start weight shifting these poles versus having a strap just hold the poles.
Sometimes clients come, they say, oh yeah, I have really nice poles. I got it at REI, or I got it at, Mountain Equipment Co-op, and they are nice poles. It's just, and then and they have straps, but I just explain that I recommend that they don't use the straps. And so sometimes, like, you can take the strap off, there's like a little button thing that you can take off. Sometimes you can't take the strap off, and then I just have them use it without the straps. But if they're having like significant balance difficulty, then I would recommend starting with the activator pole technique, like the, in front, for kind of to work on their balance and posture, things like that, the basics.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Eileen, and other people that didn't get the boot tips, if you can, check in the box and see if they're there. But if they're not, just email us and at orders@urbanpolling.com, like it's in the chat we put on there. Just email us and we'll send you the boot tips. So Kristen wrote, so if we have a higher level patient, do we recommend the activator poles over the urban polling poles? Are the two interchangeable? Oh, okay. That's a really good question. Okay. So, yes, you can, you can let them know about the urban poles. I very often just get the patient to get activator poles and then use it as urban polling technique, because with Parkinson's, it's a progressive condition, and maybe they might need to use the activator technique, or they might need to kind of switch over, in the future. And so, and since you can use the activator poles, if they only could get one pole, I would get the activator poles. Yeah.
Also with Parkinson's, every day is variable, even during the day. So you might be fine one moment and then in the afternoon not. So
exactly. Yeah, very good.
Yep. So then do you recommend, so if you were to teach this as a wellness program for individuals who were going to do urban polling, they were an older population, but had no medical issue, would you have them get the other poles instead of the activator poles then? I guess I'm a little confused as to what, other than how they're, the straps and things, how they're different.
Oh, okay. The straps are different. The ergonomic handle is different. Also, that ledge is like the big difference, right? Yeah, and I'll show them these poles. They'll say, I will recommend these. But if somebody already has poles and they're good quality, I will use those. Or sometimes like if they come into the clinic and they're working with us, then we might use our poles, you know. And then sometimes people will say, you know what, I like these much better than the ones that I have at home. And then they might get a set, right? But if not, I just, and their balance is pretty good, then it's okay that they use their other poles. Yeah.
Is the only difference with the activator pole and the urban pole just one is locking in and the other is twisting, besides the tips?
Oh, yeah, the tips, the lock system, the max pressure you can put on, the weight that you can put on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the activator poles, the rehab poles, it's made so that you can put more weight through it, right? To help you with your balance.
Got it.
Yeah. Linda says, love it. Okay, as a Gopher alumni, oh, you'll appreciate it. 25 outside and just started snowing. Okay, got the heart rate up. That's awesome. Okay, good. Thanks, Stacey. Thanks, Linda. Just to clarify, okay, you should have received the boot tips with the activator pulls if you registered with this course. Okay, so again, if you have the box, it might sometimes like you take the pulls out and then it might be kind of like on the bottom, but you just think it's like packaging or something, you throw it away, you know. But if you don't have it, it's okay. Just email us and we will take care of it. Okay, so for the urban polling, oh, right. Okay. So we should clarify that the activator poles, they actually, when clients buy activator poles, they don't come with the boot tips, right? Normally it does not, it comes with the bell-shaped tips, but they can buy the boot tips, you know, as an extra add-on. But just for the course, if you registered for the course, because we wanted you to do the rehab, the activator technique and the urban polling, that's why we included the tips. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the urban polling technique, again, it's that first, just get them to relax their arms, you know, keep their arms straight, right? And then the poles are diagonal. I say, okay, stand up straight and start walking with your big steps and just swing your arms like you're doing that handshake, right? I've already taught them their handshake, and then they start to just move, right? And then once they get used to that, right, then I say, okay, now push down on that ledge, right? And feel yourself propel forward. And they go, whoa, yeah, I'm really taking bigger steps, right? You might also videotape them walking, right? Just to see, look at how big your steps are when you're using these poles. So the fifth step is that you don't actually, when you get good at doing the urban polling technique, you don't want to be just dragging your poles, you know, all the time. Oops, sorry. So because you will wear out the tips, the rubber more if you just drag it on the ground, right? So when you get good at it, then after you push off, you lift that boot tip just slightly as you bring the pole forward, right? You plant it, you push it, you propel yourself, you lift that boot tip up and you bring it forward. Okay, so here, got my right and left. I drop my hands, diagonal, loose grip. I'm pushing, but now here I'm just dragging. But once you get good at it, I want you to pick it up just slightly, plant it. Right? If you don't plant it well, it will kind of slide off, right? So you really want to give it a good push down and back, right? Push, and you have a good grip right there, right? You'll get a better grip outside, like on here, you might not get as good of a grip. And so the fifth part is that you lift it up a little bit so you're not dragging, but you're still walking with that handshake, the urban polling handshake. Okay, here's another one in the chat. Oh, okay. Linda says, what makes the activator poles capable of the increased weight load? So okay. So it's because of the button lock system that it's stronger, right? And then the twist lock is more for the fitness and not necessarily too much of the weight bearing, right? So that's why you could put 200 pounds in each of these poles versus the 90 in the urban polling poles. The current urban polling website is out of stock for Activator 2 poles. Any idea when they will be in stock? Stacy, I don't know that answer right now, but I will find out and let you know. Okay. And then, you know, the other thing is that like, really like this weekend or next week or whenever you can get outside, just get a lot of practice in using your poles, right? We suggest that you get maybe up to 12 hours of practice before teaching other people, right? So you really kind of problem solve, or you're going on different terrain, or, you know, you're doing different types of technique. Let's see, the common errors in the urban polling technique is that people keep their elbows flexed, right? So you want to make sure that the elbows are extended, right? And the motion is really purely coming from the shoulders. And also the common error is that people sometimes keep the poles horizontal and not diagonal, right? If you keep it kind of more horizontal, then it will kind of, you won't get a good grip. And then sometimes, like if their dominant side, they'll get a good strong push, right? And on non-dominant, they'll go, oh yeah, I don't really feel it much here, right? So that's another way to kind of get them to go, I want you to feel that. I want you to push that away, right? I want you to push that ground away. Yep, bending the elbows. Once you get good at it, like don't drag the poles anymore. For the tips with these treads, the bell shape or the boot shape, you do want to check it out once in a while to see, okay, what kind of wear is there, right? Do I still have a good tread there, or is one side, you know, worn out? Right, you might see also with Parkinson's clients, one tip is more worn out than the other, right? And depending on how often you use it, we do suggest that you replace it maybe every 6 to 8 months. So just check it out. It's just like tires. Applying more pressure on the dominant side. And then also, again, with this should come even more natural for people, right? Especially when you're walking outside, you don't really focus too much on that opposite arm and leg, right? Just get them moving, go through those steps again, drag the poles, just let your arms move on its own, you know. And then sometimes, you know, you will train with the poles, and then we go, okay, let's put the poles down. Now let's just do our walking without the poles. And people will go, whoa, okay, my arms feel good. Like they're moving on its own, you know, and my steps feel bigger and I feel more confident walking. Okay, Linda says, I like to tell walkers that dragging the poles is like training wheels to help them get started. But as they get more confident and into a good stride, they get to take them off and lift and plant. That's excellent. There's Linda here. Okay, thanks, Linda. Okay, so here's a guideline, a safety tip. So first, when somebody is starting to use the urban polling technique, start with 30% of your client's maximum walking tolerance, because you are using more muscles and you're using more energy, right? So you want to kind of start off with 30%, see how they do, and then slowly increase that. To their walking tolerance. And then also their walking speed might increase significantly. So practice also kind of slowing down gradually, right? If somebody is kind of, you feel like, okay, they're just starting off and you want to just make sure that there's a place, a bench or a stable resting spot for stopping. That would be good to kind of look around to see, okay, like let's walk from here to that bench, right? Now here, so you might say, okay, yeah, I went outside and I did my urban polling and I felt really good. And even though it was like 30 degrees out there and it's snowing, but I got my heart rate up and I feel pretty good. I feel a little warm, right? But I don't know that I was at 80% max heart rate, right? For those younger onset Parkinson's, the more active clients, you're trying to get that heart rate up using the pulse. So how do you increase the intensity to get that heart rate up? You could try skipping, and you could try jogging. You could go up the hill, like if there is a hill close to your clinic, you can do the hill training. You can do intervals. So you go, okay, I want you to go as fast as you can for 1 minute. And then I want you to do your normal big walking for 1 minute, right? And you kind of go back and forth with that. So the skipping, yeah. Okay. So for skipping, and a lot of clients like skipping because they go, you want me to skip? Like, I haven't skipped in so long since I was a kid. I go, don't worry, it's going to come back. You're going to love it. And so I just go, okay, just see if you could just start skipping. And skip. And go bigger. Get your knees up high, maybe even bring your pulse up high. Right? So you could do that. Skipping, jogging. Okay. Go. Okay, now I want you to jog. And you're jogging with your pulse. Right? The hills, when you go up the hill with the urban pulse, you're actually kind of using it more like the activator technique. So you've got your knees, hips bent, you're bringing that pole up and you're pushing on that ledge to pull you up, right? Pull, up, 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 right? When you're going down the hill, you also bring the poles forward, you bend your knees and you slow down your walking. If it's a big steep hill, I may even kind of put the poles diagonal forward like this. Now, you don't want it too much in front of you. You might want it out a little bit, right? Just in case if you have a fall or if you lean into the poles, right? That's not going to feel good. So you get it out a little bit in front of you and you're slowing yourself down. Okay. So then now for trails, for gravel, for sand, places like that, you want to use that activator technique. You can remove the boot tips, right? Or the boot tips, the bell-shaped tips, to expose that carbide tip for increased stability on gravel or snow surfaces like that. And then keep the poles more upright, kind of like that activator technique. When you're going up the hill, bend the elbows, the knees, right? Lean into the hill, use that ledge to pull yourself up the hill. When you're going down the hill, bend the elbows and knees, poles in front and out to the side to slow yourself down. Okay, so here is a client that's going up this beautiful hill.
All right, using our urban pools to walk up this treacherous hill of Mount Rushmore. How you doing, Wayne? Feels good.
Yeah, lean into it, push.
Oh, goodness.
I think the therapist is maybe more out of breath. All right. So here, let's see if we could practice at least a couple of these practice, like the skipping, right? Maybe the jogging. If you can just pop outside, you could, and if you have a hill there, or like interval training, just try one or two of these. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. So it is 3:11. We can meet back here at 3:16. And if you have any questions, I'll be right here. Give me your skipping. Nina, you're supposed to be skipping. Nice, Stacy. Stacy's a jogger, I can see. But Stacy, you got a big smile on your face, so that's great. Oh, look. Yeah, do the skipping.
So I actually did a polling class, polar size class yesterday, and that's what we did. We had some really nice music on, and we were skipping around. It really does raise the heart rate.
Yeah.
Inside. So
was everybody smiling?
Of course.
Oh yeah. Everybody,
it
it was great.
Good music. Yeah, with good music and stuff. It's everybody.
That's true. With music, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. Who else is everybody else is practicing? Yay!
I know. Mia's like, oh yeah, I already know how to skip.
No. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Nina, did you say that you were in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
Was in Hawaii. Started up polling at a resort club over there, and I work with the Parkinson's Association over there too. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's great.
Coming over.
So are you jet lagged? A little bit.
It was September.
That's a big difference, right?
Yeah, it was September, so I got used to it. you
Okay.
know? So,
Okay. Let's see. Who was asking?
well, look, Susan Smith, they're going up and down their hallway. Wow.
Oh, let me see. I gotta see Susan. Nice. Awesome, guys.
I have a question.
Your turn. Sure. Let's see who.
On going uphill,
Sure.
I had always dug kind of like I do normally walking the poles behind me, but you were saying in front. Because I feel like if the tip's behind you, you can pull yourself up better.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going uphill and they're in front, they're a little long.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
wanted
you
to
know what?
ask you about it.
Sarah, thanks for bringing that up, because actually when you're going uphill, just like normal uphill, like out on the street, you're just going up the hill, like on the sidewalk or the street, you would use the normal urban polling technique. But I was talking more about like trekking, like on sort of like trails, or somewhere where people feel like they need that extra kind of support. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up.
Got it. One other thing, if you're hiking, or you said in the snow and you take the tips off, the boot or bell off.
The tips, yeah.
Because sometimes it could be slippery, couldn't it slip?
Well,
like what kind of weather conditions would you say not to take? Because the rubber can grip sometimes better.
I know. And the thing is that, and then sometimes like the rubber doesn't grip well on, and so the carbide tip is supposed to help more on kind of snowy, like with the snow basket too, or like if you're snowshoeing, or on gravel, places like that. I wouldn't ask somebody to use it on ice, just, at all, really. But like, I don't know, the carbide tip, honestly, when I've used it, it just doesn't feel as comfortable for me, so I usually, because also like I can feel a little bit more vibration, because now you took out that one system of vibration, but somebody who uses the poles a lot, like for also for like balance or something, then I may have them take out the tip when it's kind of a condition where it's kind of more gravel, at the beach, snow.
Okay, thanks.
Stacy, so best thing to see is that the flat Parkinson's face break out into a wide grin during a PT session when you get outside pole walking and get moving, along with hand animation after. Just the best. Thanks, Stacy. And then you get them skipping, and then it's like, whoa, look at your smile. And then you take a photo right there, right? You take a video of them. Oh, somebody was asking earlier about the Activator 2. Okay, that's Stacy. Okay, so Stacy, it will be available in about a month. And I guess because there's just like a worldwide wide shortage of outdoor equipment and aluminum. So I guess that's why they haven't been in stock. So they're expecting that they will get it back in about a month. Yeah. Okay, so we're back, and next. So winter walking tips using the activator technique. Remove the boot tips, keep your poles kind of by your door. So if somebody's just kind of needs it for balance, then just so that they don't forget, okay, the poles are right there. You're going to take it to, just to even go out to get the mail or to say hi to your neighbor. The snow baskets, you can use that for when there's kind of deep snow, or even like for snowshoeing, you can use it. If you are stuck inside because the weather is bad and you're not going to be walking outside, you can walk inside the house or at the mall or indoor track. But then you might want to use the bell-shaped tip. It might get a better grip than the boot tip for doing the urban polling. Or doing the activator technique too. You can also turn the boot tip shape forward, right? Because it's usually facing back, but now you're going to bring it forward, and then you can use it that way inside, and you're going to get better grip. You're just not going to be able to push off as well as if you're outside, right? But that will give you a little bit more traction. If you just kind of feel like, gosh, on this inside surface, I don't get as good of a grip, right? Then just turn that boot tip around so it's facing forward now, and then you're using it. The same technique. There are also, if you go onto the Urban Polling website, there are a few videos on using the polls in the winter time. It's under Getting Started. Any questions? Break time. Yes.
I had a question. When I had the poles, are my elbows, I don't know if I missed the beginning, are they supposed to be at a 90-degree angle, like at all times when I'm even walking forward, or should it be just a little bit lower than the 90-degree?
Oh, you mean when you're using it like a fitness, like a urban polling technique?
No, actually on the activator. So this one, I should walk straight forward and back, but on the urban polling,
the activator technique, then yeah. Okay. You have your elbows bent pretty much like, give or take, like, 70 to 90 degrees. So you should have it bent. Okay. It should kind of be more like this, because you're planting the pole forward.
Okay. So then my pole, I have it on a 6. So if I brought it up to a 7, I might be a little bit higher, which will give me that pole. So I need to go back to the 7. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Just what position I needed to be in on the pole.
Okay.
Okay.
Eileen. Hi, Eileen.
Okay, I think I'm a little bit confused now. I must have missed what you are just telling about the snow. So in your manual, it says on activator poles precautions, it says should not be used in icy or slippery conditions. But you're saying you take the boots off, right? And you can use that, or you're just using the urban polling?
Oh, with the activator technique. So I would not recommend using it during icy conditions.
No, I mean the activator pole. Can you use it outside on the snow or icy?
In the snow, yes, but ice, no.
Okay, and you're gonna keep just the bell, or still the boots, or the taking it off?
On snow, you would take the tip off.
Tip off, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So that it's just that metal carbide tip.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, how about let's take a 5-minute break, and then I'll get the next slide ready for us. So how about, can we meet here at 3:27? 27. You guys, we're doing great. You guys are doing great. Linda, are you down in Arizona for the winter?
No, we come down here for November and December.
Okay.
And usually for January too, but on Halloween, we had a new granddaughter that was born. She's going to always think everybody is having a party just for her.
Yeah.
But so we're going home for the holidays and then spending January in Minnesota this year but then February and March we spend in Big Sky, Montana skiing. So we kind of split our winter between, he gets to golf and then I get to ski.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So. How long have you been in Toronto?
I moved here 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So my parents still live in Minnesota, my brother and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't, with COVID, I haven't seen my family in 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm hoping I'll see them for Christmas this year.
And
we're actually like, well, can we go somewhere warmer? Like not Minnesota or Toronto, you know? So we're thinking about, we're planning on meeting down in Arizona.
Well, it's certainly been sunny and warm here, so.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I think.
Hi, I wanted to ask another question. So the poles you're using, you said they're the blue ones or the pink? There's a bluish gray. So you have the Series 300, Sunhan?
Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, I am mostly, I do have this because I wanted to show you guys.
Okay.
Like I wanted to show you what it looks like. I wanted to show you like the locking system. And if somebody brought this into the clinic to say, oh, can you put this at the right height for me? But it's easy enough because you could just say, well, how tall are you? Right. And you could just lock it into that place.
Oh, okay.
Right. So like for me, I'm 5 feet. So I'll just lock it right in here. And then, it comes with the boot shaped tip, but I mostly I'm using, Jill, I'm using the activator poles, like the red one.
Oh, okay. Like this one. Okay.
That's probably the one that you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the one that I would recommend to most people. It comes with the boot shaped tip. And then if they want to do the urban polling technique, like that fitness technique, then they can just purchase the boot tips.
Boot tips. Okay.
It's kind of, I have used the urban, like if somebody has these, I have used these doing some of our exercising, but it's supposed to be only 90 pounds of weight through one pole, so you could still do like some, skipping or jumping with it, but sometimes it does come a little bit loose and then I have to tighten it again. Depending on also how heavy your client is, right? If it's a light person, then I wouldn't worry about that, but I wouldn't do it with somebody that's, big. Like jumping on it, right? Putting all that weight through it. Although with both poles, you are able to take 250 pounds of weight through it. I never had anybody break these poles doing exercises with them or anything, right? But if somebody says, well, which pole do you recommend? I would definitely recommend the activator poles. Yeah. Okay, so, right on time. All right, okay. So now we're gonna go on to the standing exercises using the poles. And here, the World Confederation of Physical Therapy has this guideline, and Nordic walking has made it onto that list, right down here under the strength and balance exercises, right? So it's a popular activity like in Europe and Australia and and also in Canada. Like I see people walking with poles and like I'll kind of, when I see somebody with like our poles, I'll say, hey, I like your poles, and they go, thank you, but I think maybe like sometimes like people will go to Florida or Arizona or California, like Canadians, for the winter, and they'll say, yeah, people were like, it doesn't ski, it doesn't snow here, they're just joking around. But I think that I have a feeling it's going to start to become more popular in the US too. But it's a great form of exercise. If they're taller or heavier. Oh, Sarah, for the taller people, then I would recommend that Activator 2, where it goes up to that 6 feet 4 inches. And then this one also will take maximum of 350 pounds of weight. And Lawrence says, I did get Activator 2 poles last week from True Medical. Okay, so maybe if you go on to True Medical, the website, maybe they have poles for sale. Like I know, like even at our clinic, we have maybe 1 or 2 poles. I think just that the Activator poles, and we've purchased them from before, maybe months ago, but I think just the urban polling, when they're ordering it to give to these places that sell the poles, they're not able to get that right now until maybe in a month. Thank you, Lawrence, for sharing that. Okay, so this is a video of a gentleman. He's just doing some seated exercises here.
ahead, reach to the green.
He's using the poles to reach down and reach up.
Okay, one more time. Now to the orange.
Just to give that visual cue of, okay, I want you to go all the way to that pad. Good. And then also he was having difficulty getting his feet in and out of a car. So we were practicing getting those bigger movements to get his feet in and out of the car using these colored pads and the poles. Here's a young onset Parkinson's gentleman who is using the poles. He's pretty tall, so he's using that activator too for the tall people, and he's just doing some dynamic movements here, trying to push down onto that ledge, getting up straight, right? So it's providing some stability, yet it's different than just holding onto like a counter or the railing. He still has to use his balance. And here he is skipping. Where's your smile, Mike? Good, and then just assisted arm swings with some spinal rotation. So this is the, just we keep talking about this ledge, but also when you're doing the exercises, it's important that you ask them, okay, loose grip and push down on that ledge, right? When we're doing our exercises with our clients with Parkinson's, we want them to have bigger posture while they're moving, right? We want them to use that ledge if they need a little bit more help with their balance, right? To engage their core, we go push down, right? So we say, okay, this is the activator push technique, right? Push down on the ledge and get that bigger movement by pushing down, right? So this is the activator push technique. So I'll show you some standing exercises. These are just some of the ones that we came up with here. Sarah says, I know Jan, who is in the video. Okay. Jen is she owns the clinic that I work at in Toronto. So 15 standing exercises. So one is weight shifting forward or doing a squat and then standing upright, right? And also we will send you these exercises in the email, follow-up email. So you don't necessarily have to write them down, but squatting, like if you know the power moves, it's kind of like that, squat down and come up to your big posture, right? Then weight shifting side to side, right? And then go reaching up the poles. And then kind of like what that other gentleman was doing with the poles, pushing down and marching, right? You can add the arms too, or kicking forward or kicking sideways, kicking backwards, hamstring curls, up on your toes and on your heels, right? Lunging forward, lunging sideways, lunging backward, and then you can sort of add the arms for multitasking. You can do balance exercises like single leg standing, right? And you could use the two poles. If you go, man, that's pretty easy for you, maybe lift up one pole, right? So I'll also show you kind of how to progress with using the poles, how to challenge your balance. Tandem standing, stepping that opposite arm and leg just to get used to opposite movement, right? The pre-gait exercises, right? 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, kind of like that modified tandem, and weight shifting forward and back, right? Jumping, hopping, and then clock exercises, which is stepping into various directions, right? So Let's see, guys, let's grab your activator poles. And let's try. I'm gonna focus. Do this one more time. Stop. Start. Okay, good. Okay, so just, oh, and guys, if we did the urban polling and you've increased your, if you added 2 notches, bring it back down to what you were using with the activator technique, which is when you kind of have your poles forward, your elbow, and you relax your shoulders, your elbow should be around 90 degrees. Right? So you go, okay, I want you to just stand there. And first, I want you to just push down on that ledge. And you just tell the client, okay, feel yourself getting taller, right? Not shoulders up like this. You're pushing down into those poles. You can even like wiggle your fingers here, right? That's that activator push. And just let them know that's very important to be able to push down so that you're engaging your core and you're engaging and you're getting your posture up, right? So that's the first part, right? Then you go, okay, let's squat down and then push, come up straight. Tighten up your legs and push, come up straight, go down, squat down, come up, big posture. Come down, come up, big posture. This time come down, come up, out to the side. Open up your hands and come down. Come up, big posture. So here you might go, you squat down, you push down to get up and then out to the side. Here you don't have as much of a push, but just a little bit. And squat down, come up, big posture, arms out to the side. Good. Down and come up. Good. Yeah. That's the first one. Second one, weight shifting, right? So you go shift your weight side to side. Side. Now, again, push down on the poles and get up straight. Use that pole to help you stand up straight, right? If they're good at that, then they can lift that leg up, right? And if they go, yep, I feel pretty good with this, then reach, up, up. And you might even hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Yeah. Okay. From here, let's see if we could do the lunging, right? So lunging, I sometimes just put the poles out a little bit further so that there's some more support. When they can get down a little bit further, they can push the poles, come up. Right, forward, let's do alternate. 2. Go push and come up straight. 4 and up. 5 and up. 6. Now, see if you could go lift up the opposite arm. Lift. Opposite pole. Boom. Boom. Good. Opposite. And now go same side. Try same side. Up. And you could kind of switch back and forth for some multitasking, following directions. You might raise both arms. Boom. If they're really good, raise it up. And come back. Good. Good, out of focus. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's like autofocus here. Okay, then let's see if we could go sideways, right? From here, go pulls out a little bit, go side and come back up tall. Out to the other side and come up tall. You could keep your pulls here and come back to the middle, out, come back up tall, out, push down, come up straight, out, or you can also get that pull out, bring it back, other side, come back, left, and right. Now you could lift the pull up, up, good, up, and up, good, yeah. We could go from here, we can lunge back, lunge, back, and then push down, come up straight, down, come up tall, down, and up, and down, and come up. Good, yeah. So here we go. Okay, let's try working on our balance. Let's go standing on the one leg, stand on the right leg, and you're gonna go from here. You go, okay, do you feel pretty good here? And I said, yeah, that feels pretty good. Now, if somebody says, whoa, no, that's really hard, right? You might have a wider base of support. And then they go, that's easy. Maybe make it a little bit more narrow, right? And if you go, they go, oh, that's really easy. Then put your hands on the palms, the top of the pulls. So now you're not, it's just there, but you're not really using the pulls too much, right? You can also go, okay, lift up the opposite arm and hold it here, right? Go, okay, try lifting up the same side. And they go, no, that's still easy. Go, okay, both arms up. Right? They go, nah, that's still easy. Close your eyes. Or you go arms out to the side, right? And you could sort of make that motion either smaller or bigger and say, look at your right pull, look at your left pull, right and left, and right and left, and come back. And then if they're losing their balance, right, they've got the pull to sort of help them. Right. Let's try left leg, standing on the left leg, and we could go from here, go push up, 2, 3, 4. Now look up, look at the pull, up and down, up and down. This is higher level, right? You could go out, out, out and in, and out and in. And you could do for balance tandem standing, right? Stand tandem, and you're doing the same thing, right? You go, okay, lift one arm up, right? Try the other one, right? Maybe arms out to the side, right? So same thing as a single leg standing. You could do the kind of that modified 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And then you go, okay, I want you to shift all your weight forward and all your weight back. Forward and back. Yeah. And when you get used to that, now lift one side up, down. Lift, or you can alternate. Left, come down. Or you could go a little bit faster. Right, left, right up, left up, and right up and left up. Maybe both arms up and come down. Reach it up high and push it down. Reach up high and push down. Come back. Good. Let's do, for that pre-gait exercise, you say, I know it's hard to get that opposite arm and leg, right? So let's see if we could practice that. Let's go right arm, left leg, come back, step, come back, step, and maybe you might do just one side, Or you might go, okay, now switch to the left. Okay, you're getting really good at that. Now go alternate, right and left. Right and left. Good. Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah. Good. And then you might go, yeah, let me see. 1, 2. Back it up. Right? 1, 2. Right? Or just short steps. You go, yeah, do you feel that? 1, 2, 3. Right? And then you just start walking that way. Okay. You could also do some jumping. So you go up, land soft. Use the poles to help you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. From here, let's try hopping. Side to side, side to side. You can stick it for more than a second. You could also hop it forward, go forward and back, forward and back. And switch sides, left and back, forward and back, and forward and come back. Good. Yeah. Hopping. The clock exercise. I'm a big fan of the clock exercise. I think it's great. So you can go, you're standing in the middle of a clock and the clock it goes around. You go, okay, you got your poles there, because the truth is that you're not just going to be stepping forward, sideways, and backwards, right? Sometimes you have to go this way. Sometimes you have to go this way, right? So I'll say, okay, stand up straight. Think 12 o'clock, right foot, bring it to 12 o'clock. Come back, bring it to 1 o'clock. So probably it will be just next to the pole. Then 2 o'clock, kind of behind the pole. 3 o'clock out to the side. 4, sort of back and out to the side. 5, little bit more back. 6, straight back. 7, back and across. 8, back and really far across. You're actually transferring your weight to that. Like 9 is forward and across. 10 is still behind that pole. 10, 11, and 12. Right? So you could do this. You could do hopping to these different motions, right? You could add the arms as you go, right? You know, you could do, you could hold the poles. Like, let's try holding the poles and do lead with the other foot. So now you're going the other direction, counterclockwise. You go 12, push it forward. Come back. 11 o'clock, push it forward. Come back. 10, push it forward. Every time you push it forward. 9, 8, back a little bit. 7, 6, 5, back across a little bit. 4, 3, forward across. 2, 1, and back to 12 o'clock, forward and come back. Good. Yeah. And then, you know, here I also really like these back exercises. Down, stretch it up, get down, and stretch it up. I might go side to side and twist to the side. Go down to the one side, diagonal up the other way. Now down to this side, up the other way. Boom. And come back. Good. Okay. Whew. All right. Nice. Okay, so let's see if we could come back. We'll sit back down. So Lawrence, thanks for sharing that about True Medical. So Mandy was saying that True Medical and SME are American distributors, and they also offer professional pricing. So that's good to know. Whew, some water. Okay, that sounds good. Nice. Thanks, Eileen. Okay. All right. So this is Mandy here on the right side, and she's assisting this client who's had a stroke to sort of with more controlled movement, weight shifting, controlling her movement and speed, going backwards and going forward. Boom. Okay, 3:55, guys, we're on track. This is so exciting. Okay, assessment, contraindications, guidelines for physical therapy practice. Okay, so start with your standard testing for your clients with Parkinson's and the guidelines for exercise programs. So you will want to assess for their dynamic balance, right? Maybe through dynamic balance index or the Berg or tug. You want to see what is their coordination like. You want to see, do they have dyskinesia, and how does it affect their movement and their walking. And you want to assess for their rigidity or stiffness and freezing. Do they have any freezing? You want to assess for their walking tolerance to figure out what is their max walking tolerance. Have they had any recent falls? And you want to also assess for their judgment and insight. Are they able to maneuver around obstacles and negotiate traffic safely? Can they dual task or multitask? What is their vision like? Do they have any visual neglect, or do they have double vision? Are they able to see the curb step or uneven surface as well? What is their gait pattern like? Right? What's their stride length, their gait speed? You can videotape their gait. Other conditions, right? Are there any orthopedic conditions? Do they have any soft tissue injuries? Do they have arthritis, right? What kind of assistive device, if any, were they using before? And what is the use like? Do they just use it once in a while, or are they, heavy walker user? So there are times when the pulls are contraindicated. We've talked about some of these already, but you may also only use the pulls during your treatment session with the client and not necessarily have them do it at home or with some supervision, by another caregiver or spouse, or maybe with exercises, but not necessarily for walking. Right? If it's post-surgery, because we do actually recommend that people use the activator pulls for after surgery, not right after at the early stages, but to at least 2 weeks after, assess to see if they're able to use it, but they should be weight bearing as tolerated post-surgery. Also, if you're planning on using it with somebody post-surgery, make sure that they learn how to use the pulls before the surgery, right? So that they get used to the technique and they're comfortable using them. Okay, so walker may be contraindicated if they're using a walker, kind of full time, heavy cane user. If they've had a history of falls in the last 3 to 6 months, okay, you want to investigate that. They want to, make sure that they get an assessment by a physical therapist or rehab professional. Dyskinesia, you want to check that out. If it's significant, right, and they're not going to be safe using the poles, maybe it's more of a tripping hazard, you wouldn't use it. Acute frozen shoulder. So if it not on the acute stage, but later when you need their arms to move, right, then you're going to use it. Like if it's a acute soft tissue injury, okay, you're not going to want to use the poles at that time, but maybe something more with chronic, maybe they need more movement, right? And that could be good for it. Early stages of joint replacements. Okay, severe arthritis. So we kind of talked about that, right? Like the poles were ergonomically designed to reduce stress on somebody with osteoarthritis. But if somebody has severe arthritis in their hands and it doesn't feel comfortable, you may not use them. Severe acute cardiopulmonary condition. So we use it to get people to increase their intensity, right? For their fitness. But if they're in a severe sort of acute condition for cardiopulmonary, then we would not be using it. If they failed your readiness questionnaire, then you should seek advice from their physician or rehab professional to see if the poles would be a good fit for them. Assess for appropriateness for group polling programs. So, if they're at mid to late stage, right? Okay, are they appropriate? Like what kind of supervision do they need? Are they safe using it? What's their vision issue like? Their cognitive limitations and other conditions. And so you use them as prescribed by a rehab professional. I think we talked about most of those. Here's an example of a client from Arizona who is transitioning from using a walker to using poles. So she's kind of behind him. She's not too worried about the opposite arm and leg. She's got the safety, the gait belt on him. He's using the activator pole technique. And they just went kind of a short distance. So the guidelines for walker users, make sure that you are behind them. Have the support be behind them so you're not kind of in front of them or, I think it's a good idea to use the safety belt around. Don't worry about that opposite arm and leg. Just get them used to using it. See how they feel with it. Use the activator poles during the rehab session. Gradually increase the use during the day. It doesn't have to be all or none. So you might say, okay, we're going to use the activator poles to do this. And then I want you to use your cane or your walker when you're doing this, right? Okay, slow down. If you feel like, oh, they're going kind of fast, they're sort of getting out of control, right? You want to slow it down a little bit, more stability, right? Get that pull forward, right? Have a bench or something nearby if you know that, okay, they may need to sit halfway or if they start to increase speed. Here's a gentleman who is walking, I think this is Florida, on the beach using the poles, and you can see that he's got the snow baskets on there. Look at the difference. Okay, all right. We are doing well. This is, we're gonna go through some seated exercises. Now, this is for maybe some of the lower level clients. Here's a video of a pull exercise group class.
Add the other arm, wide heel. One more. Correct. Have those heels popping up and down. That's great. How are you feeling, everybody? So good. On those toes. Beautiful job. You guys are fabulous. Eyes are up. Good to go. Excellent.
Benefits of using poles for seated and standing exercises. Okay, for Parkinson's, to facilitate that bigger, larger movement, right, with bilateral support. The poles, they promote the client to sit more upright, pushing down on that ledge, makes the exercises more abstract and more less abstract and more concrete. So instead of saying, okay, lift up your arm, you say, lift up your poles, right? Poles provide the visual cue, also the sensory cue, and auditory, right? Because you can hear it, right? The proprioceptive cue for exercises. Also, when you're kind of walking that urban polling style, you're pushing down into it, right? You're getting that feedback from the ground to promote greater range of motion. Okay, better posture than using the back of the chair for balance during standing exercises. And then it's more versatile to use during home exercise program. You say, just take your poles and do it with your poles, right? 6 most common, let's see here. Are you going to address polling for stairs? Oh, okay. Lawrence, this is a good question. Stairs, so when you're going up the stairs, I usually have the client either hold on with both poles and maybe if there's a railing, right here, right, both poles, railing up, right? It depends on the client. If you're going down a curb, right, it's kind of, you're bringing your poles down, you're going down the curb. When you're going up, you bring the poles up, you go up the curb, right? Stairs, or usually if there's nobody else around, I would have them use the railing on one side and then both poles on the other side. Okay, so here, these are the 6 most common age-related changes that increase fall risk. So here is decreased strength, which is something that the pole, when you're using the poles, that's going to address, right? The strength. Weaker sense of balance. Okay, it's going to help with the balance, right? The eyesight. Okay. But loss of flexibility. Okay, we're trying to increase their flexibility, increase their movement, help with their endurance, and help with their independence or ability and desire to walk. So 5 out of 6 it's going to address. How to structure a 30-minute seated and or standing exercise session. So warm up, you're talking about the proper use of the poles, the grip, the posture, the breathing, right? So that might be about 5 minutes. And then you've got your exercise session for about 15, 20 minutes. And then you've got your cool down for 5 minutes. these are some of the seated exercises that we that I've put on here, and we will do them together. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So with upright posture, right? That's just like always you go, okay, push down. Now, when we do the seated exercises, I do have the clients bring their poles down 2 notches, right? So it's a little bit shorter. I actually, sometimes it feels better if I go 1 more. So it depends on how you feel, what feels good for you. So I'm now down to 2. And then for these exercises, we're working on opening your hands and closing your hands. We'll go through these. Some deep breathing. You're doing some marching. You're going, stepping your foot out and in, like getting in and out of the car, crisscrossing your feet, kicking forward and doing some ankle exercises, and leaning forward and back. We'll talk about stirring the pot or doing some breaststroke swimming. Yeah, exactly. And kayaking, and then twisting. Here, so let's see if we could do, I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to show you. Okay. Got the poles out to the side. I'm sitting at the edge of the chair. I push down on the ledge. And I have my big posture, right? That's how we want to start. Now I say, okay, I want you to open your hands. See, you don't have to grip hard. You can open your hands, still keep it there, close it, right? You're working on kind of those fine motor. This is going to help with the fine motor tasks. Go open and close, right? Then I go, okay, now I want you to sit up straight. And sometimes I go slouch and then sit up straight. Feel that difference? You are slouching and you're pushing down and getting up straight. Right from here, I want you to breathe in and breathe out. I want you to fill up your lungs. Breathe in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold and breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're maintaining your good posture there. You're gonna go push down on the ledge and march. We're going for a nice stroll. And then we go look over to the right, look forward, look over to the left, look forward, look up, look forward, look up to the right, and look forward, down to the left, forward, up to the left, and down to the right. And come back. Now let's see if we could go opposite. Up, up, opposite arm, up, up. Good. Let's see if we could switch it over to the same side. Boom. Same side. Up. Good. How about from here, we bring your poles forward and we bring the leg out and in, out and in. Bring it out and bring it in. Every time you're pushing down, getting up straight, bring it in, out and come in. From here, we're doing crisscross, forward, back. Forward, out, and back. Forward across, back across. And how about from here? Let's go push down, sit up straight, maintain your good posture, kick your legs. straighten up that knee. Try to straighten it up and keep that posture big. Push down on the ledge, open your hands, maybe wiggle your fingers, and then stop right there and do your ankle up and down, toes up, down, up, down. And how about the other side? Good posture and up, down, up, down. Good. Yeah. And come back. Let's go from here. Bring your pulls in. You have your legs out to the side, and you're going to stir this big pot. Big round circle. Reach forward, reach, 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 and come back up top. Reach, now go other direction. Reach it over and come back. Boom. Now from here, we could do the breaststroke. So from here, you go push forward, pull it out, and bring it back. Forward, out, and come back, and forward, come out, come back. How about out to the side, and then forward, reverse, boom, come back. Out, forward, come back, good posture. One more time, out, come back, and come forward. Good. Let's do from here. So from here, let's go kayaking, right? Good posture from here, and boom, you're pulling that water back, back, and your weight shifting side to side, boom, side, side. Good, that's it. Okay, we gotta go faster. It's getting dark out. Come on, let's go. Go faster, faster. Good, and come back. Now for twisting, we go sit up straight, go twist back, back. Now as you go, try to go up a little bit higher. Look back at that pull. Look back at the handle, look back at the tip. So you're also getting your head going, your neck going. Reach it up now really high and twist. Like this is a good motion to get your seatbelt. Boom, back, back, and then drop it back down. Twist, twist, and we come back down. And then, guys, we're not done yet, so stay right there because we're going to do a couple more, but with some music. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's use our pulls. And let's go from here. March in place. Boom. Big posture. And let's go. And look over to the right. Look forward. Look to the left. And let's go from here. Bring your legs out. Out. Let's go back to kicking forward. Kick, kick. And let's go opposite arm up. right. I like Nina's use of ball, obviously for advanced patients. Nina, you have to show us. Okay. Oh, here, look at, we're on our, nice.
You did, but on a bouncy ball. So that's an additional balance. Just to keep my leg up was an additional.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Good job. Oh my gosh, I want to see more. I also want to see Stacy's. She's going to incorporate visual ocular movements. Right, Stacy? So create a new exercise. I'm going to give you about a minute or two and see if some of you guys, could you guys share some of your exercises that you've thought of? How about Lauren's? How about Susan's team? Nice, Jill. Are you doing sitting to standing and then lifting up and then, yeah. I like that. Ah, great. Stacy, thank you for that. Some vestibular exercises while doing some standing exercises.
So can you see me?
Yeah.
So you can have them stand or sit if they're low, low level and might fall. And you can have them use these and keep the head straight ahead and take the eyes up and down, up and down. And then you can do the side to side, or you could be here while they do, keeping their eyes focused on that gaze in the middle while they do the head turns and head nods. And you can do that like during a little bit of warm up or cool down.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Stacy. Could do staggered stance, Kristen said, anterior and posterior weight shift, similar to LSVT exercise while incorporating pole movements as well. Perfect. Reciprocal arm swing. That's great. Susan's team, you guys want to show us some exercises?
Yep, sure.
All right.
Can you see us?
Guys, can you see them? I think I've oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to stop sharing.
I can see them.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, we were just thinking of one in sitting where we did down, up, down under the chair.
Wow. Okay. Never saw that one. That's great.
And then we had one for standing, a series. Nicole's going to show it.
Where we did step back, lunge, come up, bird dog, up, step back, up.
Yep.
Nice. Higher level stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Who's Susan?
I'm Susan, and that's Nicole.
Nicole.
And Allie.
Allie. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Okay, let's see here. So I'll do, sorry guys, I have to try to unpin you. I got it. I'm gonna stop. Okay, there. Okay, so we'll move on. So the, let's see here. Classes for lower level Parkinson's group. Determine the guidelines for participation. Start with seated and standing exercises. Start indoors and learn the technique first, and then try going outside. Start with, we talked about that 30% of the walking tolerance of the person that is the lowest level, right? The lowest walking tolerance in that group. Keep supervision of lower level clients until that they're competent and they're safe using the poles. Level ground, do the circle routes, right? Make sure that there are some rest breaks there. We recommend that there's 1 instructor per 5 lower level clients and 1 per 10 if they're active clients. Caregivers and support workers, they may provide additional assistance. Okay, and then in your manual that was sent to you on page 24 and 31, there's a quick review on the checklist, contraindication, and exercises before starting your group class. So this is a video of group urban polling walking. And when you first try to do some urban polling walking with a group, just make sure that there's enough room. Everybody's sort of, you know, so that nobody's tripping over. These people, they have been polling. This is not their first time, so they're kind of close. Choosing a site for outdoor classes. So you can see the manual for guidelines. Find a place where you have options for people to sit if necessary. In the summertime or warmer months, or in places that get pretty hot, look for places that have plenty of shade. And also, depending on your participants, find a place that will challenge them with different surfaces, right? Some hills or uneven ground, different terrain, maybe some obstacles, right? Make sure that there is enough parking that's close by for if you're choosing a meeting place. Bring extra water and snacks, like also if somebody's diabetic or something, just so that you have something. And it will be good to have bathroom facilities close by. This is some pictures of outdoor polling for higher levels, so kind of uneven surface walking. Here, there is a, this is a stationary exercises, like if you can use like park bench or like a little kind of a ledge there from the playground. Uneven grounds, okay. Okay. All right, this is going well. Okay, so here is a summary, guys. We're at the summary now. We've talked about the benefits of using the poles. We've talked about some research. We've talked about the activator pole technique, which is that bent elbow, right? The rehab technique, right? To give more balance, to work on posture, core activation, right? And then the urban polling technique, which is with the boot shape, the boot tips, and that's with that straight handshake, right? That's that fitness activity for the higher level clients or for yourself. We've talked about some standing and seated exercises. We've talked about some guidelines and contraindications, as well as some outdoor programs. So guys, congratulations on becoming a designated activator trainer. You'll receive a logo, woohoo! with the follow-up email. So the activator trainer, this is the logo that you'll get.